Conan, what is best in life?
To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women.
Hi, let's talk about Conan Omnibus by Busiek. The Conan Omnibus by Busiek is a Marvel omnibus. It comes in at the page links shown down below. I got it for the price I'll pop up on the screen as well. It is a great story and a really well made omnibus. You get essentially the story, which I think commenced in 2004 up until the end of Busiek's run. And what they've done is they've mixed up the issue order so that they have a young Conan storyline at the start of the omnibus, and then you go into sort of his first adventures, and then it finishes with a sort of 4-issue mini-series called The Book of Thoth, which explains the origins of the bad guy that you've heard talked about and seen in the sort of main bulk of the book. You get fantastic artwork with this. You get it's a sort of artwork that initially you think, oh, I don't know if I could read a whole book of this, but your eye adjusts and you realise it's just a very, very high quality. The storytelling as well is fantastic. I really, really enjoyed the storytelling in this. You can tell that a lot of care and attention has gone into trying to stick to the original spirit of the Robert E. Howard stories. There's even sort of homages to the original Conan stories written by Robert E. Howard, such as The Elephant Tower. You get sort of a new version of that story in there. You also get a lot of attention paid to the history of Hyperborea and the whole sort of land in which Conan lives in the Hyperborea storyline. And that really adds to the sort of weight and depth and texture of the world. So you can see a lot of care has gone into the book in that respect. You're along for the ride, totally. There's never any dull points. And just when you think it might get monotonous, they sort of throw in almost like a sort of palate cleansing issue that is just sort of Conan knocking about, and it really, really is fun. The Conan character as well is very well written, because you get a real sense that he's a real person. He's not just someone who just does things. He's got a personality, and as the book goes on, you see that personality grow and change as things happen to him. He starts off adventuring as a sort of, not wide-eyed because he's a barbarian, but a sort of optimistic adventurer. Something bad happens to him when he goes to Hyperborea, and he decides that I'm going to go to the worst place in the world, sort of a hive of skull and villainy, as it were. And he asks the kid, where's the worst place around here? And he goes there to like the City of Thieves, and that's where he sort of carves out his reputation. And he meets bad people, he meets worse women, and yeah, and it's just good sort of sword and sorcery story. Conan does get through women in this. There's one bit where one of his girlfriends dies, and then immediately he goes off with another one that he had waiting at his house anyway, and you think, yeah, fair enough, Conan. You know, that then breaks. But he also gets ripped off a lot because of that, because he thinks with the wrong head, let's say, which is funny too. You know, you think, well, fair enough. I would recommend this book to anyone who enjoys sort of sword and sorcery books, anyone who is into like collecting good quality omnibuses. I mean, the page quality is your normal sort of thick omnibus paper. It's not as thick as the X-Men Grand Design paper, but it's still good. It's a nicely presented omnibus. You get your sort of contents pages at the start, which I'm a big fan of, and you get some nice material at the back with diagrams and notes, etc. The only thing I wish with the story more was that there's a character called Janissa in it, and I wish that she was in it a little bit more, because she's a good sort of counterpart to Conan. But you know, you can't get everything, I suppose. Let me know what you think. Did you enjoy this omnibus as much as I did? Have you got it? Are you looking forward to getting it? I think it's going to go out of print if it hasn't already, and I would recommend that you pick it up when you can. Thanks for watching. Please feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you around.